Hello class 106, I'm Nick Teacher. Today is Thursday, March 12th, 2020, and today we're going to be doing Storytown page 252 to 253. So pause the video, take out your Storytown student books, and let's get started, okay? So what we're doing today is, on page 252, is we're comparing the texts, okay? So we've read two stories so far. Actually, one was a story with the frog and the toad, right? With his list of things to do. And then we also read the poem about two kids on an August afternoon. So what we're doing today is we're going to look at those two texts and how they are the same and how they are different, okay? So, take out a piece of paper or something where you can write this on. What we're starting with is number one. So, what do the story and the poem say about friendship? Okay, so if you want, you can go back and look at the two pieces of writing, go read them, and then we can come back and talk about it together. So if you have to pause the video to go read the poem and the story, pause the video, okay? So what happened in the toad and the frog? You know, he has a list of things to do. He goes and he sees his friend, and then he loses his list, and his friend tries to go get the list for him, right? And then, you know, he doesn't get the list back, so they sleep, and then that's the end of the story. Now in the August afternoon poem, we have two kids. They're talking about how they want to sit on the swing, and they want to have lemonade, and they say, one straw for you, one straw for me, and they drink the lemonade together. So, what do those two stories say about friendship? Well, the first story says that you should try to help your friends out, right? Because he tries to run after his friend's list and catch it for him. He tries to do a nice thing for his friend. And then in the August afternoon, it says that we should spend time with our friends and do things together. So that's going to be our answer for number one, right? Okay, number one, the two stories say that, where are we? Okay, that we should do nice things for our friends, and we should do things together. Okay, that is the answer for number one. The two stories say that we should do nice things for our friends, and we should do things together, right? Because the nice things that they're talking about are running after your friend's list and trying to catch it, and the things we should do together are spending an afternoon together drinking lemonade, right? So that's the answer for number one. So pause the video to make sure you have that written, then we're going to move on to number two. Number two, get a pen. All right, number two. How does doing something with a friend make it more fun? Okay, so in the first story about the list with the toad and the frog, well, at first he's doing everything by himself, and then after he goes and he says that he has to walk with his friend. Okay, and they have a little bit of an adventure, right? And then in the poem, you know, they're not doing much, but they're doing something together, right? They're just sitting and drinking lemonade, but they are doing it together. So how does doing something with a friend make it more fun? Well, the first reason is that when you do something with a friend, you can share the adventure and the happiness, right? And then On the second one, it's kind of the same thing because it is a really nice day outside and you can share that nice day with someone. So you get to share, you can share the adventure and the experience with someone, which is the best part, don't you think? So number 2, we're going to say, the question was, let's read it. How does doing something with a friend make it more fun? So we're going to say doing something with a friend means that, this pen is a little dry, let's see if I can get another one, means that you can share the adventure and happiness. Okay? That's your answer for number 2. Doing something with a friend means that you can share the adventure and happiness. This is an R. I wrote that a little weird. Okay, adventure and happiness. Alright, so pause the video to make sure you have that written. We're going to move on to number 3. Okay, so number 3 says, what kinds of lists do you make? What kinds of lists do you make? So, for number 3, what kind of lists do you make? You know, you can make a list of things you have to do for today. You can make a list of the things that you want, you know, like a grocery list. You can have a list of places that you want to go. You can have a list of your favorite things like games and music and movies. Okay, so let's say those 3 things. So we'll say the kinds of lists that I make are to-do lists, my favorite things, and things that I have to buy. Okay? Now, if you have different things that you make a list for, that is okay. You can write that. But these are just the ones that I'm going to put, okay? So, we'll say the kinds of lists that I make are to-do lists, comma, my favorite things, and things I have to buy. Okay, can we see that? Yeah. The kinds of lists that I make are to-do lists, my favorite things, and things I have to buy. Alright, so pause the video to make sure you have all this written down, and then we're going to move on to the next part, okay? Okay, so in the next part, we have writing. Think about how Frog helped his friend Toad. Now, think about a time you helped a friend. Write a short story about it. So this part is on your own. You have to write about one time when you helped out your friend, okay? So you may have given them something, you may have done something for them, maybe you did something together, okay? So this part, anything you want, you have to write, we'll say, 3 or 4 sentences about how you helped out a friend one time, okay? So see if you can do that, and then come back and we'll finish the rest of the activity, okay? So pause. Okay. So the next part, make sure you have this because I'm going to erase. Okay. So this part is phonics. So make and read new words. All right. So let's start. I'm going to start with the word kind. Right? Kind. Now, the instructions say change K to an M. But first, kind. What does that mean? Kind, when you are kind to someone, it means you are being nice. Okay? So we're changing K to M. So now we go from kind to mind, right? So the mind, you have two definitions. The first is like your brain, your mind, but the second one is when you say, I don't mind that. You know, it doesn't bother me, okay? So first was kind, that is to be nice, and then mind is when you are bothered. So if you mind something, you are bothered. It bugs you, okay? Now, we're going to change the N to an L. So the N is now an L. So now we have mild. So when something is mild, it is not very serious, okay? It is very calm. If you have hot sauce, you have very, very hot sauce, very spicy hot sauce, or if you have mild hot sauce, it is a little spicy, okay? That's mild. And now, we're going to change the I to an O. So the I is now an O. Mold, okay? So mold is something that grows when you leave food too long outside, okay? If it is wet, mold grows very easily. It sometimes is green or black and it's a little gross. That's mold, okay? And now, we're going to take away the M. Take away the M. Old. Everyone knows what old is. Old. You are young or you are old, okay? Now, fluency practice. Read the story aloud with a partner. Take turns reading the pages. Imagine that Toad speaks slowly. Read his parts slowly. Imagine that Frog speaks more quickly. Read his parts more quickly. So for this part, if you can, read with a parent or a friend or a brother or sister. And when you are, take turns reading, and when you are reading Toad, whatever Toad says, speak very slowly. And when you are reading Frog, make sure you speak very fast, very, 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 very fast, okay? So Toad is slow, Frog is fast, okay? And that is our lesson for today. If you guys have any questions, call or email the school and we'll help you. That's all I got, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye, guys.